I'm Sean, and I'd like to talk with you for just a few moments today about discipleship. Discipleship is at the core of how we build strong churches and grow spiritually. In Acts 2, we see a powerful example of what happens when believers follow God's plan for growth. They focused on 5 key steps: connecting, growing, serving, going, and worshiping. When we follow this model, we can have a lasting impact on our communities and the world. Let's take a deeper look at each of these steps. The first step in the Acts 2 model is connection. The early church knew the importance of building genuine relationships. They gathered together regularly, shared meals, and supported one another in prayer. Connection isn't just about showing up on Sundays. It's about building a strong sense of family. When we connect deeply with others, we create a foundation of trust and unity which strengthens the entire church body. Next, the early church focused on growth. They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching, continually learning and growing in their faith. This step reminds us that spiritual growth doesn't happen by accident. It takes commitment to studying God's Word and applying it to our lives. Growth happens when we surround ourselves with other believers who encourage us and help us to stay accountable. Serving is the third key step. In Acts 2, we see believers using their gifts and resources to meet the needs of others. They shared what they had so that no one lacked anything. Serving others is one of the most tangible ways we show God's love. When we serve, we become the hands and the feet of Jesus, impacting lives and making a real difference. After connecting, growing, and serving, the early believers didn't just stay within their circle. They went out and shared the gospel. The Great Commission calls us to go into all the world and make disciples. This step challenges us to be bold in our faith and actively share the good news with others. Going can mean reaching out to our neighbors, being involved in missions, or simply living a way that points people to Christ. The last step is worship. The Acts 2 church worshiped together daily, praising God in everything they did. Worship isn't just about singing songs on Sunday. It's about honoring God with our whole lives. Worship should be woven into every aspect of our day, from our conversations to our actions. Worship touches every part of who we are. There are 5 main areas of worship that help us stay centered on God. Worship starts with obedience. When we align our lives with God's will, we are worshiping Him. Obedience shows that we trust God and honor Him with everything we do. Part of worship is how we treat others. Jesus said the world would know we are His disciples by our love for one another. Building strong, loving relationships with fellow believers is an important part of our worship. Rest is another way we worship God. Taking time to rest in His presence allows us to recharge and reflect on His goodness. God created rest for us, and when we honor that, we show our trust in Him. Worship also happens when we give and serve others. Being generous with our time, talents, and resources is a way to reflect God's heart and show that everything we have belongs to Him. Finally, worship includes remembering what God has done and praising Him for it. When we recall His faithfulness and express our gratitude, it deepens our relationship with Him and strengthens our faith. Discipleship and worship go hand in hand. The Acts 2 model gives us a compass and GPS for growing strong churches and living out our faith daily. When we connect, grow, serve, go, and worship, we fulfill our purpose as Christ's disciples. I'd like to encourage all of us to commit to making these steps part of our lives and our church. so we can see God move in powerful ways among us. Until next time, God bless.